Hello, traders. My name is Anna, and I'm head coach at Leveraged. And today I have Devet joining me for the live trading room, where we're going to talk about the markets, analyze the markets, also talk about what's been happening during the week. And today is actually a special day. By the way, for those who don't know, today is Thursday, but today is NFP because tomorrow in USA it's a bank holiday. So that's why the NFP was pushed back to today. So anyhow, hello, Devet. How are you doing? What
Hey
is
Anna,
happening? How is life?
I'm good.
All good?
All good.
Good.
It's raining and storming here in Cape
Oh,
Town, but I have a warm heater next to me, so I have a buddy keeping me warm. So
that's nice.
no, doing good
That's
today.
really good. I
Yeah.
was I was actually just like saying to the vet, I'm not gonna like show off or anything, but today in Latvia we have the warmest day of the summer. So it's like it's really nice and toasty, and it's just like you know what it is when the weather is nice, when the sun is out, it feels like life is better in
Mm,
general. So
mm.
I'm really, really enjoying this good
What,
weather and just
what's your
really,
what's your warm days? What's the warmest day for you there?
So currently now it's 27 degrees and it's
Okay.
Celsius. So, and it's only half 11. So I believe
Oh
it's going to
wow.
get into 30s and above. So,
Yes.
and me and family, we're going to go for a sunset to the beach. So it's going to be a great day. So it's going to
Exciting
be
day.
good. It
A
is.
lot to look,
And I
lot
feel
to
like
look forward to.
exactly right. And it's like almost like a weekend because there's NFB and tomorrow, like the
Mm,
bank holiday. I'm not sure there's going to be lots of, happening,
lots of
but
movement.
yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah,
anyhow,
so you can
guys,
take a
say
long
hi for
weekend.
those who are watching. Where you watching from? We have Ian. Hello, good morning. That's my
Good
mom, by
morning,
the way.
Keenan.
Hello. That's my mom watching us debate. Hello.
Uh,
Always our people supporting, right?
yes,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
lovely.
So, anyhow, debate. How is your week has been so far in the markets?
Good. More or less break even. Some up and down
Mhm.
movement, but keeping it steady.
Okay.
No massive wins, no massive losses.
Yeah.
Recovering from last week's turmoil, but
Right.
doing good so far. Yeah, a little bit in profit on the account, so slowly building it back up to pass phase one. So yeah, hopefully I'm not putting a timeline on it. So I'm not going to say hopefully this week or hopefully next week, because I think in past
Mm,
experiences, whenever you say or think, I'm going to pass it this week, or I'm going to pass account this week, or you set this expectation of
yes.
certain goals, then it often doesn't turn out the way you want it to.
Mm.
So I'm just going to be neutral and take it day for day. Uh, Looking at some trades this morning, had a loss on GU, which I'll share later on, which the
Okay.
setup was valid. It was a great trade,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So
Mm. Yeah.
it was a loss, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And
Mhm.
now with NFP this afternoon, I don't think I'll be taking any more trades, new
Mm.
trades, like before the news, or
Yeah.
maybe any at all. We'll see
Yeah.
what it
We have
is.
Jason joining in as well. Says happy NFP day. Hey, happy NFP. What's the weather in Scotland? That's by the way, Jason from the
Oh,
Discord
you're from
community.
Scotland.
Yeah, and he's from Scotland. So, but yeah, Devet, again about the expectations, right? We talked about it last time. The
Mm,
expectation, what we set for ourselves, is always, well, I don't want to say always, but traders tend to set higher expectations than we should have.
mm,
And then
mm.
that higher expectation actually becomes impossible almost
Becomes
expectation.
a
It's like
stumbling block.
yes. And then you
Mm,
start to fight with yourself mentally, you start to struggle. And then from there, once the emotions are out of your control zone, you start to go on tilt and all the
yes.
bad things happen there. So
No.
to have that like unrealistic expectation is what's causing us to to get off that path where we should be.
And
And
I also think it takes time to realize what is an unrealistic expectation.
yes.
Because when you just start out, you think expectations are expectations. You're not sure
Mhm.
what's the parameters within you that you can work in to know, okay, this is
Yeah.
unrealistic or this is realistic. So it all
Yeah.
comes down to time and experience as well, knowing what is realistic. I think a good
Mhm.
thing is if you have expectation, okay,
Mhm.
just lower it a bit few bars, and that's
Yeah.
maybe more realistic. Um,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think as traders, where those expectation comes from is like we have expectation on the profit target, how many days it's going to take us to pass, for example, a
Mm,
prop firm challenge, or how many profitable trades we're going to have, or what's going to be our win rate or
Yes.
risk reward. And then it's like the vet says, just jump it down a little bit, like just put it down a little bit. And to be fair, I'm one of those traders. I strongly believe that I should not have a goal of reach certain amount every single month. However, what I say, my goal is to perform well as a trader, which means following my
Yes.
plan, controlling my emotions. And I don't want to put myself also like in the box where I say, I want to make 2% a month, right? So what's going to happen if I make that in 2 weeks, right? So what,
Are
I'm
you
going to
going to
take
stop
off another
trading?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why should we put us in the box,
Mm.
right? And and that's why I think those expectations, they just need to be more realistic. So instead of like putting like it's good to have a goal, I agree with that, but when it comes to expectation where you expect you're going to be doing well every single day, or you're not going to have losing trades, that's just bad, and it's going to be in a really bad mind. It's going to put you in a really bad place. But anyhow,
Yes.
that's enough for expectations. So, Devet, how about if you break down your losing trades? We'll start with losses. It's
Let's
okay.
start
We'll
with the
start with
loss.
losses. We'll start with losses, and then you can break down your trade, and then we'll see later on. I'm going to share on my AI analysis as well. So,
Yes.
okay, let's go.
Okay. So I'll start with the loss, and then I'll go over to a win as well,
Mhm.
just to keep things balanced. But very simple. New day view up. We're trading below it. We have a nice bearish fair value gap below it. And I'm looking to short it because I'm thinking potentially we can trade back down to yesterday's previous day low. I wasn't expecting price to like go all the way to the previous day low, but just a movement towards the previous day low, potentially maybe trading back in this bullish fair value gap in this area, maybe something like that. That was the expectation. And if I just looked at the high time frame, we're bearish. So I kind of just thought, let's continue with this bearish trend. I'm just going to hide everything, but we had this bearish fair value gap here as well, which price was potentially respecting. So everything kind of looked to me good for trading down lower. But like I said, I have seen this often, so I might look into my data regarding this. But when I find a trade like just before Frankfurt Open, when Frankfurt Open was on this candle, this candle was Frankfurt Open. More often than not, it goes against me rather than in my direction.
Right.
So I need to check that for setups that happen. So this was a textbook setup for me, but it happened just maybe at the wrong time of the day. Compared to this trade where we had yesterday,
Oh,
there's the new
that's a
day
nice
view up.
trade. This is such a good looking trade. I
Yes.
wish all the trades were like this,
Oh,
right? This is such a
so
good looking trade.
so the trades work, eh? The trades work. So that was the fair value gap.
Yeah.
We had another one up here as well, but because we were so heavily bearish, and we had I do think, where's my lines now? This sell side, this swing low as an objective. I knew I just wanted to get in and wanted to get in before the news. So this was in and out before the news came out. Tagged me into the trade and just dropped. Like I just got the notification from C-Trader like take profit fold. That was perfect. View up, 1 hour fair value gap below view up, and just melted towards the downside. So that was a good trade. And time of day I think was better. This one, same setup, same scenario,
Yeah.
but just didn't play out. So it's just the odds, or just the distribution of wins and losses, I guess.
Devet, see your yesterday's trade. What time did it happen compared to today? Was it before the London Open, or was that
No, yeah,
already in
this was
the
before
report?
New York session. So let's just put
Oh,
it
right. Okay.
on my time. So this was at 1 o'clock, just an hour before New York Open, I think. So it was
Yeah.
also before the session. But what I've noticed is that often with London Open, you get a lot more whiplash manipulation moves, and New York Open often gives the retracement before the continuation. So if London was the continuation or a down move, then New York Open could often, on not indices necessarily, but on forex pairs, the New York Open or the New York session could be a pullback and then a continuation like we see
Continuation. Yeah.
on
Yeah.
yesterday's
Yeah.
price action. So that often happens. Oh, that's yeah. And yeah, this was just a nice move. So happy for that, and happy for this as well, because it fit the plan. So I executed on it. It could have been a win, it was a loss, but either way, the trade was taken based on
Yeah.
the rules. So
I feel like I need to say this in here. Like, oh, this is like my favorite thing to say. I'd rather take a good loss than a good
yes,
win. And if your loss was, like you say, it wasn't my plan, it was within the rules, I executed based on my risk management and everything was done properly, then it just makes sense that, it's a good trade. Yes, it was a loss. We move on. That's why we have good risk management in place. That's why we are not going now, sad and upset, and we just gonna, like, let's go and cry in the shoulder. Or I'm like, sometimes I'm like, send me pillow to cry on because I had the loss. So
no,
anyhow, Jason has to say that that fall in the GU yesterday was due to the chancellor crying during prime minister questions and the expectation that the welfare bill will cost more money. That's a real sentiment for the markets. Yeah, that was
okay.
obviously, that move was, like, news, and that's what happens. Market sometimes moves not just because of, the technicals, how it is, but also because of all the news. So um yeah,
And it's
uh,
great when the news and the technicals align. Then you get good setups.
for sure, for sure.
For
Now,
sure.
Devet, a question to
Mm,
you. I'm just like a detective today. I have a question for you.
yes.
So, like yesterday's trade, it's a great trade. It's a great win. And I'm just like curious. This is what I sometimes talk with the traders on one-on-one coaching sessions is,
Mm.
so after you saw that trade hit the TP, you were happy with it, happy with the trade. How did you feel seeing that the price was going lower and lower? Did at any point you had that, oh, I wish I held, I wish I left the runner? Do
No,
you struggle with
no,
this, or it's
no,
like
not.
that's the
I
past?
often my thinking was a little bit different. I was like, okay, where can I find the reversal now to trade it long?
Right. Okay.
No, because I was thinking, okay, it's gonna drop. It never just drops continuously, obviously.
Mm.
I was immediately
Mhm.
looking to the left and thinking, okay, what do we have on the left? And I went to the daily, and then I saw, on the daily, we've traded into
There's a
this
fair value gap. Yeah.
daily fair value gap. And I know from daily fair value gaps, like we said, it's stronger than your hourly or your 4 hour one, so we might
Yeah.
get a good reaction, right? So then I was like,
Mhm.
okay, are we going to find some long opportunities from this daily fair value gap?
Mhm.
And lo and behold, it traded back up right into that opening day's view up and traded
Mhm.
lower. And that's also why I was thinking of shorts, because we respected the previous day view up. So the sellers from this day, they were going short. And then I was hoping, or the expectation was to see a continuation from the sellers. So we did see a little bit of a continuation, but just not enough buyers
Mhm.
kicked back in. And I'm guessing if we place a view up from this low, yes, that's where
Yeah.
it got stopped. They got stopped right in the tracks, saying no, no more selling. We will be buying, and we see the continuation up. Ultimately, yeah, going up higher. So, but yes, that often is a thing. Like what helps is that I didn't look at the trade play out. I had the trade in, and I
Okay.
had a meeting. And the meeting was 2 hours long, and while in the meeting, I just saw my phone send a notification, and I saw the take profit. So I
Mhm.
couldn't do anything about it. I had to put my phone down and continue the meeting.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that helped to not
Yeah.
want to jump in again, or
Mhm.
yeah, I couldn't do anything about it. So that's one good thing about working and trading, is if you have trades and you set TP and you're busy with your day, you can't always intervene or interfere with your setups.
For
Or
sure.
so
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents about
It's
it.
it's like a really good example what you're given here, that more time in the charts can actually be damaging. So
Mm,
when you are busy and when you just set your trade, like you set it and just let it be, it's actually, much better for yourself, because then you cannot go and experience all these emotions by seeing that trade
yeah,
is going lower, trade
yes.
is going, and then suddenly you have these thoughts, but what if I would be in the trade? And the
Mm,
worst thing, when you start to act on the thoughts and then you start to jump into the trades and you open
yes.
unnecessary trades. And I mean, I feel a little bit ashamed. I need to use the word ashamed for that. I have done that in the past. Like
Yes,
I have chased the
guilty
price
as
and
well.
I have felt that emotion. So it's like when traders come and share and they're like, oh, I feel so bad saying this. I'm like, don't, because I have
No,
been there. So I'm
we've
not going
all
to
done it.
judge you. I
No,
understand you. But the thing is now,
100%.
just because I understand you doesn't mean I agree with you. I don't, doesn't mean that I think you should, your behavior is adjustable.
Yeah,
I'm not adjusting, like not adjusting. What's the word for it? But I'm not supporting, right? But at the same time, I am supportive because I know how it is and what it feels
you've been
like
through
and all
it.
that. So um but yeah, I just asked because I saw like this is a big push yesterday down, and I
Mm,
was just curious if you had those emotions. So in one way, it's good to hear that you were busy, you didn't need to
yes.
look at the market at all, and it just helped you to move forward.
No,
Um,
I can maybe talk a little bit about some other things that I'm looking at. Um,
yeah, sure. You're on
and then
gold now.
yeah, this is
Okay.
on gold now. So from Monday, we're above the new week open view up. So we're still kind of, in my eyes, still bullish. And then if you just look at yesterday's, we're above it. Morning came down. So sellers from today found support at this area. We
Mhm.
pushed towards the upside. And then looking for my 1 hour favorable gap above view up, which we see
Mm,
right there. And then if we just drop to the lower time frames, um, we have this supply and demand area. And if you want to get all technical on the lower time frames, the 1 minute, this area of accumulation, we saw this manipulation sting right into that
mhm,
previous view up, break above, and followed by a new 1 minute favorable gap. Nice seeing price trade back towards the upside. And then other thing I want to mention is with my setup, which can often get quite difficult, is because let's look at USD CAD. If we just look at there's the new day view up, there's a 1 hour favorable gap, so there's our entry area, right? It looks pretty, looks like a
decent.
good setup, and it looks
Yeah.
like a decent setup. And I do think that based on what we see here, it is a decent setup. But then if I go to the 4 hour, we're trading into this fair value gap, which we can see as resistance, right? So
Oh yeah.
we're trading into it. Now, if you compare this setup, compare it to GU yesterday,
Mhm,
we were trading into liquidity. We weren't trading into resistance with this
mhm,
short. So this made this a same good A plus setup in terms of the entry, but in terms of
mhm.
higher time frame, this is higher probable, I think, compared
Yeah.
to USD CAD trading into all of these fair value gaps towards the downside. And this 4 hour one. But it's still something that I haven't taken this now, but this is still something I would take because based on the 1 hour, based on
Mhm,
current market conditions, current price, that is a entry for me. So that's just something that I'm also paying attention to. It's just like, what is the higher time frame doing? And is there room for it to go to? So if this 4 hour candle trades up higher, where will it trade into? So we
mm,
have, yeah. So there's a bunch of things that we can look at.
mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. It's also like see your setups. It also comes many will say, like a indiscretion, right? Like you need to decide which one is better and all that. And I think as much as we make our setups easier to understand, and I need to come in and say, make your strategy stupid simple, because if it's stupid simple, you will know exactly what to look for. And the more
Yes,
confusion you can create to yourself, the more confused you will be. And then
exactly.
you will question, if it's good trade,
Mm.
bad trade, why did you took it? Why did you not took it? And it's just like good to have those rules. But
Yes.
also I do think like having the experience, like because right? You know how to read the market and you have read the
Mm.
market for years now. So it's like, you can decide, well, this setup, actually the USD CAD setup, I didn't take it because I think we
Mm.
are trading into that not liquidity but into a
Yeah.
fair value gap, which is
Mm.
in your opinion you've seen that it's not working as well, so and then you can make a decision. um
Exactly.
Logical. Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
Let's see what is it gonna do. Anyhow, so I want to share that I'm doing like a little experiment, guys, now. So
Yes. Share with
um
us.
So basically, what it is that I am trying to trade with AI tools, which is AI analysis that leveraged offers. And this week I started like a new account and I'm trading it and I'm using AI analysis that you can get in your dashboard. So once you sign up, you get the activate your account and then you will be able to use the AI tools. So anyhow, I will show now C Trader. So this is the account that I'm using. I am trading our executive biggest account, 1 million. And yeah, I want to share with you how the AI analysis is going, which is like crazy interesting, I would say. So if you haven't traded with any AI analysis, then first thing, I already said this to the vet. I think it's important that we not just buy and sell.
Mm.
Even if AI, let's say there is analysis on it and there's like a pattern or resistance break, support break, whatever it is. I already said to the vet, it is important to also use the human brain, not just AI, but also the human brain. Because when I was just simply buying and selling exactly what the AI was telling me, you can see here that my results are actually not that great. And I lost simply because I was just like doing what the AI is telling me without any my experience as a trader. And now yesterday all day what I was doing was different. I put my zones in where I could see support, resistance, and I used my experience as a trader, exactly where I'm gonna put these stops, put these profits, what is it, what I'm going to do based on like what AI is telling, and the results were much better. So again, this is just like a trial for me. Just this is literally how many days I have traded since 30th of June, right? So it's just been few days, and I'm just trying this out, and I'm trying to see how I can use the AI to help me make better decisions in the market, because that's exactly what it's meant for. It's not for go and do buy here, sell there. There is
Yes.
a like, and the thing is, David, what I also noticed is when traders see when when I tell traders that we have like this tool that will send you analysis and it will show, where but possible buys and sells are. Like I literally see stars in their eyes, and they just like get so excited. And they're like, no. Look, that's like a tool for you to
Yes.
use with that. And I think this was actually a great example where I just
Mm.
blindly took all buy sells, and it was not that great. The results were not great. And then probably some of them will be like, oh, your tool is rubbish because it's not giving good results, right?
Not giving good
um
result.
but no, it's really interesting to see. So for example, currently I
Mm.
have two positions open because the analysis was that EU is going to go down and UJ is going to go up based on the I can't even remember what was it based on. I think some kind of triangles. And the thing is, the way the analysis is done, right? It's not how I trade. It's not how I see the
No.
market. I trade zones, and AI gives us different patterns. Like there are
Yes.
patterns like triangles, right? Then there is like a
Wages. And
break,
oh,
yes, veggies and all that. And then there is like a breakout as well. You can trade a
mm.
breakout. You can trade either it's like going up, like bullish or bearish breakout. And it's like it's not like my trading style, but still I can use that tool to help myself make a better
Mm.
decision in the market, so and
What
like
what's
it,
the
it has
average risk reward? Have you seen what's the average risk reward for the AI?
it really depends, really
Mm.
depends. So it just depends on each setup. But the thing is, what I
Okay.
decided was to use the same risk for everything. So
Mm.
I tried to put 2,500, which is 0.25% risk for each setup.
That's
Some
a lot.
setups I know, right? So it's like on million account, obviously it is a lot, but this is also like great example how I can tell you the story, quick story. When I went in full-time trading, my account was small and I was delulu, full of delulu that I'm gonna make money with small amounts. And
More
it's like
amount
a straight, I mean, it didn't took me long to realize that I actually need significant capital, not just like,
capital.
capital, but I need a lot of capital to be able to make money without the
Yes.
pressure also. Because if you have the small accounts, then that's where that really bad expectation comes to, I need to make 30% a month. I need to
Yes.
make 20% a month, because you're like, well, I only have this capital to work with. If you have 10K and you want to make 1,000 a month, you need 10%. But
Yes.
as a trader with many years experience, and also the vet, I think we can both say that 10% a month is not that easy as it seems.
No.
It's just not. It's you either going to over risk, over leverage, you are going to gamble your way, but it's
Mm.
really hard to reach those results sustainably month after month,
Yes.
consistently. And there's two ways for traders. You can either be trying to gamble, like risk a lot, or you can try and become a consistent trader, and it's just
Mm.
up to you to choose what is it,
Which one you
what
do?
path you want to go. Yeah, exactly. And obviously we need to go on the, I say we are in the middle. This is a good way, this is a bad way. So please go the good way and be
Yes.
consistent trader with, realistic expectation, using proper risk management, and making sure that you are growing based on achievable results,
Mm.
not just something in your brain, like, Anna 10 years ago, Delulu, thinking I can do
But
50% every
I have
month.
a I have a question based on that slow approach. What's your opinion about a fixed one-to-one risk to reward? Um,
Uh, okay, fixed one-to-one risk reward. I think there's nothing wrong with one-to-one. For a long time, I was very much against the negative risk reward. But I do
mm,
need to say, if you trade negative risk reward, but your win rate is over like 95% or
mm,
90%, I mean, you just need to look at the data and see what it is.
yeah.
Fixed risk reward, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Is it like the pip amount? Do you mean
No,
like
just always one-to-one. Doesn't matter if it's
always
20
one-to-one?
or 30 pip. If it's 30 pip stop loss, you do 30 pip take profit. It's 10 pip stop
Okay.
loss, you do, or just
Um,
always one-to-one. Just in terms of psychology, taking
hmm.
more wins. Well, yeah, what's your opinion?
I think so. See, for me, trader in me, I love trading the price action. So for
Mm,
me, I want to set my targets and my stops, right, based on the structure of the market. So,
yes.
and it's going to be hard if, let's say, for example, stop loss is, let me see, I'm going to take an example like here. No, this is going to be good. I'm trying to find something bad. Let's say this one here, right? So let's say we want to sell this position, we want to sell in here.
Okay.
So basically what is happening, the risk reward, we're going to sell here, right? So my stop, I want to put it above this wick, and my profit, I want to make sure that I profit the previous, and you can see that this is negative risk reward, right? So, and to
Yes.
make it positive, right, to make it one-to-one, I would need to target past this. But
Mm,
like reading price action, most likely what can happen, yes, the price will go down to here, but it will find support based on this price action in here, based on this structure, and it's going to go against me.
but if
So
you
it's
were longing it, you would have gotten it better, because then
yes,
your stop
if I
loss would
would,
have been in the low and your take profit at that high, which would make
yes,
sense. It also
exactly.
depends on the market structure and the conditions
Yes.
that you trade in.
Yes, exactly. But the thing is, just trader and me who reads the
Mm,
structure of the market, I really struggle with that idea. You put the one-on-one based on like your stop loss. I think, I rather take negative risk reward approach then and just enter the trade, but like I will put my targets based on the structure instead of just like adding them, whatever my
yes.
stop is, then it's like
Yeah.
the one-on-one ratio. So I think I personally, I haven't done a lot of backtesting on this, but I
Mm,
do find that when you trade the structure, not the peppermint, but the structure, it's always
mm,
better result. At
mm,
least for myself, that's what I have found. And I think I mean, it all depends really on the trader, right? And it
mm.
depends what kind of data you have collected, and then you can decide what is it's usable or not.
Yes.
Because I think it's just important to go through your data and
Mm,
look if that's something is good or not. So anyhow, and also like to speak about the risk reward in here. So you can see that my trades will be around like 2.5 not 2.5, 0.25. I'm saying 2.5% because I'm so used to 100K account, and it's like 2,500 is 2.5%. But in this case, it's 0.25. So yeah, as you can see, I'm risking here. It's always like 2.5. If there is a trade closed, earlier, that means I just closed it because AI analysis changed. And so, for example, in here, I had buys on oil, and I needed to shut down this trade because there was AI analysis telling me that we are actually going bearish.
Yeah, that's the one
And
thing that I saw with the A, and it often changes. And then, so if you just blindly enter buy sell, you're gonna get so confused. Is it now selling or you're buying? Now it
Yeah.
says buy, now it says sell. So you have to only use it as a add-on, a tool with your
Exactly.
already analysis and
Yep.
bias.
And it's good news, guys, for us, because that means AI is not replacing us. Okay, traders are
Yes,
still needed. it's
we'll
like a
still
it's like
be
a funny thing. Yeah, we're still needed. We're still needed in the market, and it's exactly what Devet says. It's add on. So you do your analysis, and then you can see what is AI up to. What, for example, I want to trade this Euro USD, and I want to sell. Is AI analysis aligning with mine or not? And if it is, then it's like, great. It's like another confirmation for myself. But if you will just blindly go in and buy and sell, you most likely will have results like this in here, just red, 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 red. And that's like not to do. But so far, I mean, yeah, it looks okay. I'm gonna also share my dashboard for maybe like next stream, and also like I'm making like a separate video for
on
this,
it.
so the traders
Okay,
can see how the journey is going.
I think traders will
But
like that.
yeah, I think it's going to be good to see. But like, I mean, yeah, I do close. Some are like, you could say, negative risk reward because I'm risking 2.5 and then I'm closing earlier. But also we need to keep in mind that maybe my initial setup, for example, I was like selling DAX right here. Maybe my initial risk reward was like 1 to 3, but because AI changed and analysis changed and it says it's going to go now, up, I needed to close trade early. And that's why it looks like it's less than, 1
Yeah.
hour. So it's like there's a lot of these little nuances, and that we fully don't see the picture if you don't have the whole picture, because you just have this. But for example, these trades, GU and Aussie USD, this is like 2 hour trade. This is almost 1.5, something like that. So that's not that bad. That's not that bad at
No.
all. But yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes. So currently I'm also in 2 trades. One is EU sales and another is USD buys. So yeah, we'll see. Like, seeing here, David, this is negative risk reward, but this is what the AI was telling me, and this is also making sense because the
So
stop is below.
do you place a stop with where you would place a stop, or do you place a stop with how an AI or the analysis tells it?
That's what it is. I place the stop where I see it, not the AI,
Yes.
because for this, for instance, the stop was below, I think, here. Yeah. So, and I was like, nah, I can't trade this. Like, I will take, because I agree on the direction. It is looking bullish because we're making higher lows and it's logical, right? But I am not going to put the stop in there, because if I do, most likely I will hit the stop. So, and yeah, that's why I'm using the stop where I see it. Again, that human.
Humor the human.
Humor. Yes. We have Alex joining in. Hey, Alex. My name is Alex. Hey, Alex. My name is Anna, and that's the vet. Nice to meet you. Right. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes, but I'm really, really excited to test that AI, and hopefully it can be something that can add a confluence, like, to our trading, but really not just being silly. I mean, David, that's probably harsh to say it, but it's the truth. If you go silly monkey mode and you just buy and sell what the analysis tells you, it's not going to end well. It
Because
really
people
is.
can think, okay, let's just buy a million account and just take every trade that the AI puts
Yeah,
out, and we're gonna be millionaires by the end of the year.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
if
exactly.
it was that simple, then
Everyone was doing it.
everyone was
Yeah.
doing it. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Alex has a question. Question about trading bot. Does Get Leveraged is a trading bot trading friendly? Yes, you can trade with a EA. There we go. Expert advisor, right? If I can code a bot which takes one trade a day with either fixed or loser when what is the next day, will this be okay? Yes, that's absolutely fine. The only thing you need to be mindful of that your bot is not doing high frequency trading or not over leveraging, right? So don't go every single day risking with almost the daily drawdown. And also make sure that it's not from not many traders are like using it, so you're not copying someone else's bot that has been built. So that's also
Yes.
another thing. But no, the leveraged is welcoming traders with the bot, so you can definitely trade that. Just make sure you read frequently asked questions about prohibited strategies. But other than that, we are excited to welcome you in our portfolio managers team. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go,
Alex,
Alex.
join the senior portfolio. Come on.
Yeah, join the senior portfolio because we offer three, right? And all of the threes you can all the programs you are welcome to trade with the bot. So it's like the rules are the same for each program, just a little bit different when it comes to drawdown rules, the
Mm.
risk management rules. But other than that, yeah, it's good. Right. Look at that. EU is just EU is struggling there.
It's flirting
UJ
there.
is struggling as well. It's like nothing is happening. Do you think maybe today we're not going to have a lot of movement in the market because just before the NFP, and then once the NFP hits, we can see maybe something.
I think so. I think it will be slower, and then when NFP comes, it will shake things up, and then
Mhm.
kind of decide on a direction and go its way.
Mm,
So I'm
yeah,
always hesitant to trading before NFP because
yeah.
the market could be waiting for something. It could be,
Mhm.
or you could see price move aggressively in a direction, and then with NFP comes the opposite way. So it's a lot
Mm,
of ifs, buts, and maybes.
yeah. I think obviously also another thing is that for me, like yesterday, the price moved so aggressively that it's like now today we're trying to kind of recover that. And also because trade like the price was trending so much yesterday, I feel like this is maybe not going to do much of the damage
Mm.
this NFP. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to say. Really, really hard to say what's going to happen. But I mean, I love this EU setup. Like even if I'm looking this is the resistance zone. We have a double top, which is also a pattern, right? And it just makes sense that the price could reach these yesterday's lows. But is it going to happen or not? I don't know.
Would the EU also be a trade that you would take personally?
Yes.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I would have been in here on this
Mm.
bearish
Think
closure
Holcomb.
because
Mm.
it just makes sense. We are in the resistance zone. There is a pattern in there. Closure. This is like my A plus setup. So, and
Okay.
I would be targeting the lows. So yeah,
Okay. So you did
we'll
go
see.
full margin on your personal account.
Yeah, absolutely, Devet. Full margin. I actually just got the email. It
Amen,
said
sister.
that. Yeah, I'm really. I'm kidding. That's the life of a trader.
Living life
Oh
on
my.
the edge.
Yes, live on the edge. Alex says, makes sense. Thank you. You're very welcome. We're excited to join. We are excited for you to join. Alex, also you can join the Discord where both of like me and Devet, we're very active in there. Devet is sharing his journey with the 100K
His
account that he's
losses.
trading. Yes, so and I just love the fact about the vet that he's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna say as it is, like tell everything. Like last week he had a bit of a bump, but this week the vet, you are doing really, really well. Staying in that focus and not losing it. I think that's really, really important to stay
Yeah,
there.
thanks.
Uh yeah. I don't know, markets are weird. Markets are weird. Look, I thought about everything he knows. Don't let him fool you. Oh my goodness. Is that Alex that you know or something? What's going
Yes,
on?
I know this guy.
Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. Um, right. I already said
Um,
to the vet that he's like a, trading celebrity, and hopefully one day I can have a picture with him. I will be like holding the pen and paper, and you will sign it for me, David. Oh my goodness. That's just crazy. But yeah, anyhow, I'm curious to see what this is going to do. Also, because we do have a news, and this is where the human good thing I didn't say humor this time. I think that is also important when we use the AI analysis is that we still put the rules in place. So for
Mm.
example, I don't want to hold these positions over the NFP. So it
No,
just makes sense that I'm going to close them, right? So because AI is not going to tell you close your trade now. So it's
because there's
just
news. No.
yeah. So and the AI is just going to give you the analysis based on,
Mm.
the price action, what's happening, but it's not going to tell you, where to get out of that trade. And that's why it is important to not just silly buy and sell. You actually need to make a decision yourself. What is it that you want to
Mm.
do? And it's good actually to create these rules around it. So, and that's what I'm going to cover more in the video, where I'm going to talk about that, how we can actually use the AI analysis, but also have the base rules. And
Mm.
then altogether, that creates a really great strategy to
Mm.
trade with. But yeah,
So
I'm definitely closing. Definitely
when I looked
closing.
at the AI analysis, I thought the way I would use it is see, okay, let's say it gives a short opportunity. Then I would
Hmm.
go into it's like EU shorts. Then I would go into the chart and see, okay, but does this align with my approach of
Yes.
trading? Is it below view up? Is there bearish fair gaps?
Hmm.
Those two things. I would add that as a filter and
Hmm.
then um, take my trades based off of that. So the AI or the analysis tool will just become an added confluence.
Yes, I
Mm.
like that. I really like that option a lot. Also, there obviously the way the analysis is done, like I said, there's patterns, there are breakouts. So then you can filter, if you know yourself, let's say you're a breakout trader. I'm a pullback trader. I trade
Mm.
pullbacks. Most of my 85% currently will be my pullback trades. And I
Yes.
do trade the breakouts as well. For example, if the price will break out, let's say if it goes lower, right? And then I'm going to wait for a pullback, and then I'm going to get in and trade that breakout, like so continuation.
Mm.
But currently, it's just what I feel with my strategy is that I will get tagged into the trades where I'm looking for the pullback, but then
Mm.
market is trending. It breaks and it never comes back for me to keep on continuation like
Of the
trading.
continuation
And
trade,
it just
yes.
yeah, and it just goes without me. And then I'm like in the corner or in my, in somewhere, I don't know, like crying in the pillow in my room because the market is just mean.
It's a
Market
meanie.
is a bully. Yes, market is a bully and meanie lately. So it's just yeah, it's one of those things, I guess. But yeah, I think that another confluence to use the AI analysis as like another confirmation for your trades, I
Mm.
think it's great. But again, we don't want to make it complicated. If you make
No.
it too complicated, then it's just not going to do good for you. Because I stand with both feet, arms, and everything that the stupid simple is the way. If you overcomplicate things, then it's not going to be good. And I can tell from my experience, my checklist for a trade used to be over 10 ticks I need to put in
Oh,
there.
no.
10 things, and it's
Yeah.
just like that's just going nowhere.
Yes.
Nowhere. You can't get
That's too
anywhere
much.
with this. So the more simple it is, the better it is. And another thing that I do always say is there are people who actually need complicated and there are
Mm.
people who need simple. So let's say, I'm not saying for you not to have that checklist if it makes sense to you. And if you can quickly filter that when you're looking at the chart and filter your big list,
Mm.
then by all means keep it, right? But I just know from experience, also talking with many traders, is that overcomplication for the strategy or for analysis, whatever it is it's just gonna mess up with you big time. So for
Absolutely.
me, it's just simple. Just keep it simple. Like your strategy, David. It's really
Mm.
simple. Really,
Mm.
really simple. Also, I do need to say this to the traders. Guys, if you are not checking out the dashboard, please do, because I will start to add more webinars in our academy. So on your dashboard, there's academy, and you can check out the webinars and courses. So in David has done his first webinar on the, I'm scared to say
VWAP.
VWAP. It's like such a big, it's not easy to say, So
It's interesting. I noticed when a position closes on CTrader, in that right corner, then a notification tells you price closed at from VWAP. So it's kind of, yeah.
Huh.
So next time you close a trade on, even if it's stop loss or whatever, it shows closed at VWAP.
Oh, let's see. Let's try this. If I place the order and if I put stop loss, let's put the stop loss close and take profit close. Let's see, what is it going to do? Oh, you probably won't be able to see because I can see my notifications pop up in here. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I didn't know that, David. But anyhow, guys, saying about that though, David has created a webinar and it's going to be uploaded tomorrow, I believe. So you are in for a treat tomorrow. So please use your dashboard, use everything that you have in there. We also have many articles. We do the daily reviews, weekly reviews. And there are a lot of good things. We are trying to focus on education here. And also tomorrow, I know it's holiday, but I think it's a great way to wrap up the week. And on the Discord, our portfolio analyst is going to be there, and you can join the call with him. And he's going to do like a weekly overview. I didn't see how it closed. I didn't see what it said because I was talking.
I was seeing it closing, and I was thinking, "Are you looking? Are you looking? Are you looking?"
No. Oh no. Okay, let's try again. Wait, guys. I need to focus on this. Need to focus. Let's see. Yeah, it is VWAP. Build at VWAP 1 point something, whatever. Yeah, you're right, David. It does say that. Oh my goodness. Right. So good things with these trades, guys. My like losing risk to reward is going to be great because these are small losses. That's why it's so important not to look at the dashboard, the data that it gives you. It's great, it's good, but I think that's why it's so important to collect your own data, where that these little errors like this, they are not affecting your overall statistics. So yeah, it's gonna be good. Anyhow, so nothing that you're looking at, or you're currently looking at something.
No.
I see something in there. I see something in there. What is that Euro USD?
Just checking your trade, seeing how it plays
Oh,
out.
right. I thought you caught something like there. Like, what is it? What is it?
Seeing what happens there. Where you would, if I would have entered, I would get my stop above this most recent structure. So I'm just curious to see what happens there. This USD CAD is not going anywhere. So the intuition was right so far. Did not take a trade there. Yeah. Nasdaq. Not sure what's happening over there.
Oh, Nasdaq indices. I don't like indices at all.
No. And your
GJ.
This one. I'm not going to even mention this. I'm just going to ignore your divorced wife and go to EU. But GU is pushing up. What will EU be doing? So it will be interesting to see.
Yeah. And it's like also yesterday, like they're obviously because Jason already said because there was like the prime minister, the thing happened there, and that's why GU just plummeted yesterday. But normally they do trade the same, EU and GU, but looks like now one is going higher than another. And it's not like do you call is EU for you a boy and GU is a girl? Because that's for me, like EU is a brother and GU is a sister.
I have not yet added gender to these pairs.
Okay. So. I always add gender to everything, like when it comes to like trading, and then I can say, EU, and
EU sounds like EU. So EU should be a boy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
EU.
I'm thinking. EU is a boy, but GU is a girl, and so is GJ. It's just a
Yes.
girl. I don't know what's wrong with me, like giving the genders to, unreal things. It's like it's not even a thing, right? So, but no, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, look at that. He's just doing nothing. Come on, what's going on? And
it's slowing down.
I
And
mean, it
also with,
looks
for me,
okay.
when the view up is this flat, it's just an indication, early indication that price is just moving
Mm,
sideways.
yeah, yeah. It's going
Oh,
up, lads. Oh no. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, UJ could go up. That's what I'm waiting for, but um yeah, but it's the same thing again. It's just in between, right? The
yes.
It's not nice.
Starting to
Although this
trend.
is
If you
above.
look at from Monday, so from Mondays, so for the week, based on the week's price action, it's just flattening
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see. Do you think could go higher to these highs?
Mm-hmm. That's the plan for me, is to
Hmm.
to see those highs filled. But if it's gonna happen or not, who knows? Who
Well, I have
knows?
to wait and see.
We have to wait and see. Exactly. That's what it is. And as traders, you know what it is? As traders, the money comes when we wait. So it's like we can I think you know what? Traders are just so impatient people. Why do we choose this, if we're impatient? But that's where the results come. It's in your waiting, because if you look at this, right, you wait for the setup. And I think, like, statistically, like, numbers are like 80% for the trading is just waiting. You need to wait for the setup, or another waiting is when you need to wait for the setup to either go to your TP, to your stop loss, or to manage your trades. But the waiting is, that's where all the big things happen, is in that waiting. And you just need to wait for that setup. You need to wait for the trade to play out for you. And in that waiting, that's where also all the magical emotions happens. And when you see the trade go against, or when you see trade really push, and then you have this urge. What is the urge? To get in, or to double on risk, or to cut it early. Maybe there are so many things that we struggle in that waiting time as traders. And the best thing to do is just try and figure out, what is it that's causing you all those emotions to stir up, and what is it that you can do. And that's one-on-one coaching done with our leverage traders, is that we go through, let's say, our setups that the traders took. We go together through those setups, and then each setup I get to ask, so how do you feel when the price did went way more? Or why did you chase this setup where the price was like going down, but you were just, no, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go up, and you just add and add and add and add. And again, I think David can, say that he experienced that. I have chased the price when it's going against
Absolutely.
me. And yeah, so it's like, it's just one of those things. But I think it's so good to talk about it. And many times after our chat with the traders, it's like, oh, I feel so much lighter now, because it feels like you understand, and it feels like I'm not
Yes.
alone in this. And it's the truth. It really is the truth. Like, once you let go, and once you share that, what you're holding in, it's just so much easier to deal with that as well. So I think it's just really, really important to understand why we're doing these things in our waiting time, where we should be doing nothing. And that's also the reason why the vet says it's actually sometimes good not to be at the charts, because if you're at the charts, there's more temptation. There
More.
is a place for error, right? You can
Yes.
then to act on your emotions, you can do something silly, and we don't want to do anything silly. We want to be
No.
disciplined traders. So yeah, I mean, emotional talk, like, in trading, like, all the trading psychology, all the emotions, I love to talk about it, because
Mm.
I have experienced so many of that, and I know how it is. And it's always good to talk about them, because sometimes traders, like, think, oh, I'm just like, I'm chasing the price. I know I am. But the thing is, it's so much deeper than that. You can figure out why is it that you're doing.
Yes,
Sometimes
exactly.
we figure out that it's nothing to do with like greed, because people are
Mm.
like, oh, I was just like greedy. No, actually, if you look deeper down, it's
It's
your
a deeper
ego
problem.
that's hurting. Yeah,
Mm.
it could be ego hurting because you're wrong and you cannot accept that you are wrong and you
That
just
you're in the
want to
wrong.
be right.
Mm.
Yes, and
Mm.
that's what you do. The price is going against you, and you just buy and buy and buy and buy because you cannot accept
Can't
that you
accept.
are
Yeah.
wrong. Hmm. So yeah, many good conversations comes from there, and for me, what the exciting thing is, like for me, exciting thing is that when the traders start to speak and when they start to dig deep, why are they doing what they're doing? It's interesting how suddenly there's like that little light bulb,
Yes.
around their head, and they're like, that's right. I was actually not greedy at all. I did not have a FOMO. It was my
No.
ego that was hurting. So I was
When you
like,
figure
yeah,
that out, figure out the
yeah,
deeper problems, then
yeah,
it's like this.
yeah.
Wow.
I know, I know. But yeah, look at my trade, guys. Look at
Keep
that.
going.
My trade is
It's looking
great.
beautiful.
You know. So that's the AI power of AI and a little bit of Anna. So
Some AI and Anna
yes, it's a good trade. I mean, the UJ is just doing nothing,
with
just
stuck.
sitting there. But yeah, the year is looking good. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see this. I will keep on updating you guys for for everything. So, but for now, it looks decent. It looks decent. Let's
Hmm.
see how this is going to be looking. The next week. But for now, the results are okay. And yeah, we'll see what's gonna be happening. So anyhow, thank you so much for joining me and Devette here. We enjoy these live streams. It's good place to talk, not just
Hmm.
charts, but also like we try and touch, the the deep end, right, for the traders, the
Yes.
emotions and all that, because it's great to talk about strategies and the different pairs and analysis and all that, but so much in trading is what's inside in here in your head.
Hmm.
So it's really really good to talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
guys,
great.
please use proper risk management if you are trading, and if you are not trading, then I guess enjoy your maybe long weekend, because tomorrow probably will have lower volume in the market. It's
But,
not going to be
a
that
slower day.
long. Yeah, slower day, but thank you so much for joining in here. Please join our Discord. The link is in description. Me and Devette are there. Devette is sharing his journey. I'm there to support you. So we are going to be happy if you join. But other than that, enjoy your day and we'll see you later on. Bye,
Cheers,
guys.
guys. Bye.